Hello dear student, now we will solve the question 3rd of exercise 1.1. In part 3, we have to verify that negative of negative x is x. For these two rational numbers, x is equals to 11 by 15 and x is equals to minus 13 by 17. Now let's take a few moments and understand what this equation means. What does it means? Well, it means if you have any rational number x and you take its additive inverse, you will get minus x. And if you take the additive inverse of negative x, you will get the negative of negative x. So what the problem wants us to show that the additive inverse of the additive inverse of the number x gives us back the rational number x. So let's take the part number 1, that is x is equal to 11 upon 15. So what is the additive inverse of 11 by 15? Well, the additive inverse minus x will be equal to minus 11 by 15, because you just flip the sign of the numerator and you will get minus 11 by 15, and you can verify by this is correct. 11 by 15 plus minus 11 by 15, this will give you 0, and this is your x and this is your minus x, so the x plus minus x is equal to 0. But the same equation also shows you that if you think of this equation from the point of view of this negative number negative x, for this number negative x, if you add x into this number you will get 0. So what is the additive inverse of this negative x? What is the additive inverse for minus 11 by 15? What number will added to minus 11 by 15 gives you 0? Well, that number is 11 by 15, so we can conclude from this equation that the additive inverse of minus 11 by 15 is 11 by 15. So we can say that the negative of additive inverse of 11 by 15, that is 11 by 15. So this verifies these equalities for us. Negative of negative x is equal to x. Let's do the same thing for part 2, and in part 2 a rational number x is equal to minus 13 by 17. So here the minus sign has been written at the left of this rational number, so we can take it with the numerator and we can write it as minus 13 by 17. Now what is the additive inverse of x? The additive inverse of x is minus x, which will be, you take the numerator and flip its sign, so you will get minus x is equal to 13 by 17. So the additive inverse of minus 13 by 17 will be 13 by 17, and through the equation minus 13 by 17 plus 13 by 17 will equal to 0. You can see that this is true. So the additive inverse of minus 13 by 17 is 13 by 17. This is basically is your x, and 13 by 17 is your minus x, and this is equal to 0. Now once again, just as in the first part, the same equation tell you what is the additive inverse of negative x or of 13 by 17. What number will added to 13 by 17 is giving you 0? Well, that number is minus 13 by 17. So the additive inverse of 13 by 17 is minus 13 by 17. The additive inverse, which is negative of 13 by 17, is minus 13 by 17. From the same equation we can say this, which means that the additive inverse or negative of was negative x, so the negative of negative x is equal to x. So once again we verified the same equation. Negative of negative x is equal to x. So this question is completed.